Injured by a truck driver, I had high medical bills and a ton of worries.
If you've been in an accident and suffered a serious injury, you need to get an attorney that will help you get what you deserve.
Call BD&J today at 1-800-820-1111.
We arrived in Fresno in March of 2001. I grew up in Southern California and ended up in Fresno when I got the job offer from CBS 47. I would describe the Central Valley as a place that has amazing people. I think it's important for our viewers to know what's going on in their communities. I think it helps them to be better informed, make better decisions. This is a great place to live, and I want to reinforce that with our viewers.
Need help? CBS 47 is on your side. Contact us. Eyewitness News starts now.
Coming up on Eyewitness News, a woman who worked at Selma Unified to keep children safe is arrested for sexual battery. What the district is saying about the case.
Plus, thousands of Californians no longer have State Farm insurance. Why the company dropped coverage as wildfire season approaches, leaving homeowners vulnerable.
Our warming trend peaked today. We're going to drop back a little bit tomorrow, but the big changes arrive this weekend. I'll take a look in your pinpoint weather forecast coming up.
This is Murrow and Emmy Award-winning CBS 47 Eyewitness News at 7.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Catherine Herr.
And I'm Brian Dorman. An employee with Abraham Lincoln Middle School in Selma is facing charges of sexual assault involving a child. The school district says the person is no longer working for the district. CBS 47's Karen Cruz Orduña with the story.
The Selma Police Department arrested Selma Unified employee 26-year-old Selena Perez on 4 sexual offenses charges involving a child. She was booked at the Fresno County Jail. Police say she posted bail and bonded out of jail the same day on Wednesday. Defense attorney David Mugridge says this kind of crime is serious and could take some time to resolve. And depending on the investigation and whether it goes to trial, the maximum sentence could vary.
But one of the things they'll look at more than anything else is, was there some actual sexual touching? And if that has occurred, then the hurdles go up and the amount of time potentially goes up. But even in the misdemeanor case, if that's what they end up doing, you're going to have some sexual registration.
The legal expert says investigators could possibly look to see if more victims were involved.
And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if the police or the district attorneys are out there now, thinking about that and evaluating whether or not potentially there are some other people that are out there that may be victims.
Selma Unified School District officials say Perez worked at Abraham Lincoln Middle School. Superintendent Ed Gomez released a statement. It says in part, quote, "The employee who works at our middle school has been removed from campus by our campus school resource officer, who is a police officer working at the school site. We are fully cooperating with law enforcement while they continue to investigate. We are providing support to affected students and families, and we have added extra counselors at the school site for any support for students and employees." Mugridge says the biggest advice he has for parents is to listen to their children if they are feeling uncomfortable being around someone.
I would urge parents, if they are parents of children that go to that school, to keep their eyes open, be aware of anything, and if you hear of anything, say something, report it.
Karen Cruz Orduña, CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
For news around the clock, download our app or go to our website, yourcentralvalley.com.
As wildfire season approaches, thousands of Californians living in hot zones are now uninsured after State Farm Insurance dropped their coverage.
They say, like a good neighbor, State Farm is here. Well, they're certainly not here for us.
State Farm was California's largest home insurer. They dropped more than 72,000 policies. State Farm says the decision was not made lightly. The company cited inflation, natural disasters, reinsurance costs, and the limitations of working within decades-old insurance regulations. But for those living in fire-prone areas, the protection of home insurance is vital as the threat of natural disasters grow. Last year, there were more than 7,000 wildfires in California.
Our warming trend continued today, and temperatures really peaked mid and upper 80s this afternoon. We're going to cool down starting tomorrow, but you won't notice much of a cool down until the weekend. Let's give you a look outside with our Table Mountain Sky Valley Cam Network. This is the view from the Table Mountain Casino camera, where we are seeing lots of sunshine. Sunset time is coming up at 7:30 this evening. And here's one more view. This is the Meadow Lakes camera overlooking the valley. We've also been seeing a lot of blue sky there today. It's 83 in Fresno. We have low 80s for most of the South Valley, 81 if you are in Merced, and then 74 currently in Oakhurst. Here's a look at tomorrow's forecast. We're going to start out in the low 60s, your noon temperature upper 70s, and then we'll spend the afternoon hours mainly in the low 80s. Still warm, just not quite as warm as today. I'll talk about showers and a big cool down for the weekend in your pinpoint weather forecast coming up. First, we'll send it back to Brian.
Flooding from recent storms now has some communities figuring out how to reuse all of that extra water. Los Angeles has a 150-acre spreading ground that captures storm water. It slowly seeps into the ground and eventually makes its way to the nearest well. It is then treated and becomes part of the drinking supply. From this winter's storms alone, cities collected more than 23 billion gallons of water.
State lawmakers have voted to reduce the size of the state's deficit. Hours ago, the state legislature approved a plan that takes a number of steps to reduce the deficit by about $17 billion. Governor Gavin Newsom has said that the deficit is about $38 billion. The nonpartisan Legislative Analyst's Office says it could be as much as $73 billion. Much of the savings comes from canceling or delaying spending that had been approved in previous years, but the money hasn't yet been spent.
Ensuring that we still have some savings that we can depend on is important for many members of our caucus, and so we've got to be very cautious moving forward. But certainly excited the progress we've made today, but we have some very challenging choices to make moving forward.
And the governor is expected to sign this in the coming days. The legislature has until mid-June to determine how to shrink the remaining portion of the deficit and pass a fully balanced budget. The governor will not announce an updated deficit number until next month, after Californians have filed their tax returns and state officials have a better idea of how much money they have.
Nearly 240,000 state workers will soon have to work from the office. Cabinet Secretary Ann Patterson sent out a memo requiring all state agencies to have their workers back in the office at least 2 days a week, starting on the 17th of June. Many state workers have been working remotely since the start of the pandemic. Patterson notes each of the state's 150 agencies have their own work policies, with some already requiring workers to return. She says all those different policies have created quite a bit of confusion.
A licensed version of Fresno Monopoly will be out later this year. It's produced by Hasbro, the toy maker that launched the original game in 1935. And Mr. Monopoly himself came to Fresno for the big announcement today. He was alongside local mascots and Fresno Mayor Jerry Dyer.
And this Fresno Monopoly is a chance to be able to create a new type of nostalgia with landmarks and places that are near and dear to each and every one of us who live and grew up here in this great city.
The Fresno Monopoly is expected to hit local store shelves in November, but you can weigh in on what should be included. We have a link to email your suggestions. That's on our website. Just go to yourcentralvalley.com. And still to come on Eyewitness News, help with cleanup at the border.
What's being done to upgrade to the wastewater treatment plant in the Tijuana River Valley?
And then later, how this cat is taking to the water as he trains for Adoption Day. We'll explain coming up.
I grew up here in Fresno. I attended Hoover High School, where I was a shot put thrower, basketball player, and also a defensive tackle. I'm all about family, so I love getting out for Friday night family dinners. So my YouTube channel is called Bailey Built. So we have some fun with things like tool reviews, different projects that you may not think that you're able to do in the course of a weekend. CBS Mornings, we want to make sure that we bring you a complete picture of what's going on, from breaking news and investigations to what's going on in the latest with your weather forecasts.
Winter weather can cause serious, dangerous damage to your AC system. Monarch Home Services is offering AC tune-ups for only $69. Book now to make sure your system is safe as the weather starts getting hot. Offer ends soon. Monarch Home Services. Keep home comfortable.
Massive savings are on this weekend, only at Moore Furniture. Choose from a wide variety, including our new spring lineup, and we'll provide free white glove delivery, special interest free financing until 2025, and we'll subtract your sales tax. And right now, we'll donate your gently used furniture free of charge. Make an impact in your local community and allow us to remove and donate your items with this limited time offer. Only at More Furniture.
Winter weather can cause serious, dangerous damage to your AC system. Monarch Home Services is offering AC tune-ups for only $69. Book now to make sure your system is safe as the weather starts getting hot. Offer ends soon. Monarch Home Services. Keep home comfortable.
Springtime means allergies and asthma challenges. Take control. Stay indoors during peak pollen times, keep windows closed, and consult your doctor for effective management.
Go to yourcentralvalley.com/pros who know for more expert advice.
Eyewitness News is brought to you in part by Valley-Wide Pest Control. CBS 47 Eyewitness News at 7 with Catherine Hurd, Brian Dorman, and Pinpoint Weather with Chief Meteorologist Lauren Wallace on CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
The International Boundary and Water Commission is allocating nearly $156 million to help pay for an upgrade to the wastewater treatment plant in the Tijuana River Valley.
Salvador Rivera has tonight's border report.
The water flowing into the Tijuana River Valley from Mexico is tainted with raw sewage. On a daily basis, millions of gallons of water contaminated with sewage flows north of the border. The International Wastewater Treatment Plant is supposed to capture the soiled water and clean it so the bacteria doesn't end up all along the valley or in the ocean. The facility is operated by the International Boundary and Water Commission. It gets money from the federal government to run this plant as well as other sites all along the U.S.-Mexico border.
We typically get about $53 million a year for construction for the entire border.
Maria Elena Giner is the IBWC commissioner. She says this fiscal year they are getting more money than normal.
This year we got $156 million.
According to Giner, a large portion of that money will be spent to help pay for a much-needed upgrade to the wastewater treatment plant in the Tijuana River Valley. For years, it has been outdated, unable to keep up with all the sewage coming in from Mexico, especially when it rains.
One of the priorities is San Diego because we are not meeting our water quality permit and we're violating the federal law.
Giner says the plant must be brought up to standards mandated in the Clean Water Act.
A federal facility operated by the federal government violating federal law. So that definitely needs to be addressed quickly.
As to how soon the plant will begin its remodel, it could be by the end of summer when a contractor is selected to do the work. Other money from Congress and from the U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade agreement will be used to complete the project. Salvador Rivera, Border Report.
Well, this good weather we've been enjoying is going to see a dramatic change.
Chief Meteorologist Lauren Wallace has your full pinpoint weather forecast.
And we are really going to notice those changes this weekend. Right now, I do have your forecast for tomorrow, your school day forecast. Out the door, 63 degrees, 77 at noon, and then low 80s coming home. So still warm tomorrow, just not as warm as today. I'll talk about the big Saturday changes in your pinpoint weather forecast next.
Eyewitness News brings you Eye on Ag. Join Anthony Bailey for the latest in ag innovations and insights from our local partners. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Eyewitness News. Watch the stories now at yourcentralvalley.com.
Join Planet Fitness and get energized with fitness that fits your budget. Never intimidating, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. All in the judgment-free zone. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, April 12th.
When you need style, selection, and all-day comfort, stop by the SAS Shoe Store at Blackstone and Herndon. SAS shoes are for work and play, indoors and out. They fit any lifestyle, and you'll love the enhanced comfort, support, and stability in every step. SAS shoes come in slim to wide, and you'll receive a personalized fitting to ensure a perfect fit. Find style and comfort at the SAS Shoe Store at Blackstone and Herndon. Life's a journey. Wear comfortable shoes.
Spring has sprung in the Central Valley, bringing beautiful blooms and seasonal allergies. But relief is closer than you think. For over 40 years, Boz Allergy and Asthma Center has been serving the needs of the Central Valley community. We offer treatment for allergies, asthma, and sinus issues. Don't let allergies hold you back from enjoying the season. Schedule your appointment today at bozallergy.com or call us at 559-436-4500.
Planning a get-together? Maybe a cupcake will help. Small cakes, larger than the average cupcake and the perfect complement to your next party, gathering, or event. Pre-order by phone or online. Celebrate with small cakes, baked fresh daily, next to Five Guys in River Park.
Join Planet Fitness and get energized with fitness that fits your budget. Never intimidating, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. All in the judgment-free zone. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, April 12th.
Men and women both face factors that can impede normal hair growth and trigger hair loss. Well-Rooted Hair and Scalp Clinic has helped thousands of happy patients address hair loss and scalp disorders. Book your free consultation and get your hair loss under control. Scan now for details.
CBS 47 News is always available at yourcentralvalley.com. Now, your CBS 47 pinpoint weather forecast.
Good evening and welcome back. I'm Chief Meteorologist Lauren Wallace. We've been feeling a warming trend for about the last week. Today, we really hit the peak of the warm up with 86 degrees for the high in Fresno, almost 15 degrees above the average for this time of the year. We're going to start to drop back a little bit tomorrow, but we'll still be running above average. It's not until the weekend that you'll notice the big changes. So more on that in just a moment. It's 83 in Fresno now, 81 Visalia, Hanford, along with Merced, and then Mariposa currently at 76 degrees. Those numbers warmer compared to this point yesterday by 7 degrees in Fresno, by 8 degrees for those of you in Merced. So this does a good job illustrating that warming trend. Here's what we're looking at. We're still going to be above average tomorrow, like I mentioned, just not as warm as today. This weekend is when we're going to see the changes. We are talking about showers. Even a rumble of thunder will be possible on Saturday. We're also going to notice a very big difference between our Friday temperature and our Saturday temperature. So a big cool down is ahead. We're also going to be tracking some snow in the Sierra, although we're not going to be seeing those low snow levels like we were seeing even just a week ago. So if you're in the foothills, you're going to see everything in the form of rain. Last 12 hours, radar satellite loop sunshine today across the valley, for the most part in the higher elevations as well. Just a few clouds around there. I do expect to see a lot of sunshine again tomorrow for the valley, and then this weekend we have the changes. So let's go over the next couple of days. Forecast starts at 7 this evening. We stay clear tonight. It's going to be a quiet night again. Here's 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Sunshine for the valley tomorrow. By the evening hours, a couple of clouds, and you'll also notice that the breeze will pick up afternoon and evening hours. That's 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. For the most part on Friday night, it's going to be a pretty quiet night, but by Saturday morning, notice that we already have the moisture knocking on our doors. So throughout the day Saturday, I expect to be tracking a couple of showers. Again, a rumble of thunder is not out of the question in the afternoon hours. Let's go ahead and take you through on a Saturday night. We're still going to be tracking a few off and on showers. Here's 7 o'clock Sunday morning. Not quite done with that chance of rain. I still expect to see at least a couple of spotty showers for your Sunday. So here's how much rain you can expect through 7 o'clock on Sunday evening. On average, up to a ½ of an inch of rain for the valley. A little bit more if you're in the foothills. You'll be in that ½ of an inch to 1 inch range. On to the winter weather. Winter weather advisory will be in effect for Saturday. It's going to start at 11 a.m. It'll expire at 11 p.m. And this is going to be for areas above 6,000 feet. So again, slightly higher snow levels with the storm system compared to last week. 6 to 12 inches of snow will be possible, along with very gusty wind. 59 for the low tonight. Mostly clear skies. It's going to be a milder night, and then high temperatures tomorrow. Like I mentioned, still running a bit warm. 83 in Fresno, Porterville 85, Madera 82. Some of you will be in the 70s, 77 Merced, 77 Mendota, and then right at 70 for those of you in Oakhurst. Here's a look at your extended forecast. Tomorrow, we'll feel a little bit of a breeze off and on. We reach the 80s again, and then take a look at the changes as we head into Saturday. We lose about 20 degrees, dropping us back to the low 60s. Again, we'll be tracking a few showers. A rumble of thunder is not out of the question. By Sunday, we're still in the low 60s. We still have that chance for a lingering shower. Starting Monday, we'll dry out, 68 degrees, and then we'll reach the 70s again starting next Tuesday. In the Sierra tomorrow, a slight chance for a high elevation shower. Temperatures stay milder, and then we see the big changes this weekend. Saturday, I expect to be tracking snow. Snow levels in the morning hours near 6,000 feet. They'll drop to 4,000 feet by the end of the day. Sunday morning, snow levels will be just below 4,000 feet, and then they'll be on the rise to 5,500 feet by the end of the day. After that, we're going to see some sunshine with 50s returning next Tuesday and Wednesday. There's your your forecast. We'll send it back to Brian and Catherine.
All right, Lauren, thank you so much. Well, folks in Southern California got quite the surprise in the sky. A SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket launched this morning at 7:25 at Vandenberg Space Force Base. It's carrying the U.S. Space Force's weather satellite into low Earth orbit. It'll provide U.S. and its allies with essential weather data to plan missions. Still ahead here on Eyewitness News, some first graders are now published authors.
And we take a look at their book and how their teacher helped them with their project.
New CBS Tonight.
Who's this tall drink of water?
Ma'am.
Oh, biscuits and gravy, you're a ghost.
I am a poltergeist, which is a ghost attached to a person instead of a place.
A special ghost guest, guest ghost, is checking into Woodstone B&B.
Of all locales I've been to, well, you're the most breathtaking sight I've ever seen.
Wow, are we in Nebraska? Because that was corny.
And wow.
A new Ghosts Tonight, part of all new CBS Spring on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Whenever your home feels too much like the weather outside and it's too cold inside to appreciate a rainy day, Costas is always here for you. Night or day, will flush away all your worries. Serving the Valley over 20 years. With the best prices and results, call us anytime for all your heating and air conditioning needs. Costas Plumbing.
This van just hit me out of nowhere. I thought I was dead. After the accident, I was in a lot of pain, and I decided that I needed to get an attorney because I could not work. I called Kgpe and Myers. They had their own dream team for every need, every area. They took care of me like a queen. I would recommend you call Kgpe and Myers. They really went to bat for me.
Kgpe and Myers, because everyone deserves justice.
At Hand & Stone, discover the art of advanced skincare. Revitalize your skin with Hand & Stone's customizable facial services. Harnessing the latest in skincare technology. Our Nev Skin Treatment contours and lifts, revealing age-defying beauty. Discover luminous skin with the Pro Pen. Smooth away fine lines with BT Micro's deep penetration. And achieve a radiance with Diamond Glow. Exceptional facials tailored for you at one of our 3 locations. Hand & Stone, the retreat for transformation.
Make your first move with battery power made by Steel. Right now, save $50 on select battery lawnmower sets. Real Steel. Find yours.
Eyewitness News is brought to you in part by Ventura TV. This is CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
Oh, I love this so much. A classroom full of first graders that are now published authors.
Reporter Juliana Washburn went to visit the class and see what this book was all about.
Elephants are huge.
This year looked a little different for a class of first graders at Kathleen Thomas Elementary.
The ears. Did you know?
So how does it feel to be a published author?
Feels very great.
Their teacher, Miss Kimmel, well, she made it all possible.
So my students came in as struggling writers, and so I thought it was a really great opportunity for them to practice their writing.
Miss Kimmel helping her students read.
Horses are really cool animals.
Draw and write. The kids working on the book for 7 months.
They each chose their own animal to write about. It was all them.
This was a big moment for first graders like Shannon Smith.
It was about my dog I have in real life, and his name is Simba.
And Simba means more to Smith than even his name in the book.
This book is really made me feel like Simba. I like talking about my dog. He's the cutest dog I've ever had.
Miss Kimmel's first grade class now walking into second grade as published authors.
We worked really, really hard together to create something really special. And I know the time and the effort that was put into it, and it means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to my kids to see their hard work coming to life.
And some with even more dreams they want to reach.
It did change my dreams. I changed my mind of this book to be a a dog take care of.
Aw, that's so cute. And that was Juliana Washburn reporting. Still to come here on Eyewitness News, a cat is going to the dogs.
Yeah, why this cat is dog paddling at a canine aquatic center.
Rain, rain, go away. Come again to the Kgpe Palace the first 3 Fridays and Saturdays in April. It's a rainfall of riches where you could be showered with your share of over $200,000 in cash. Play with your Premier Club card, earn 100 points, and you could be drawn to win up to $5,000 in cash. Get soaked with cash in Rainfall of Riches. Only at the Kgpe Palace Casino Resort in Lemoore.
Experience some of the greatest planes in history up close and in person at Castle Air Museum. See them all during the 11th annual Bombs Away Car Show, Saturday, April 20th from 9 to 4. Check out classic cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Enjoy food vendors, music, and much more. All while surrounded by 80 great aircrafts like the B-52 Bomber, F-16 Viper, and the F-14 Tomcat. Visit our website for details. The 11th annual Bombs Away Car Show, Saturday, April 20th at Castle Air Museum. Come be amazed.
Summer's on the horizon, and it's time to transform your backyard into a party paradise with W Furniture. Discover our 10 Gem Splash Series, the essence of outdoor comfort. Visit our Clovis store and step into a world where backyard dreams come to life. W Furniture, crafting your summertime story with every piece.
Spring has sprung in the Central Valley, bringing beautiful blooms and seasonal allergies. But relief is closer than you think. For over 40 years, Boz Allergy and Asthma Center has been serving the needs of the Central Valley community. We offer treatment for allergies, asthma, and sinus issues. Don't let allergies hold you back from enjoying the season. Schedule your appointment today at bozallergy.com or call us at 559-436-4500.
Still to come here on Eyewitness News at 7:30, a dramatic rescue in the Bay Area caught on camera. How deputies managed to pull it off. That's coming up in our next 30 minutes of news.
Take a look at this. Ty the cat is one big kitty. He weighed in at 30 pounds when his owner surrendered him to an Indiana Humane Society back in January. Staff members say his mobility was limited and he appeared to be in pain. So they got Ty admitted to a canine aquatic center. He trains for a half hour twice a week, and he's lost nearly 5 pounds in 7 weeks. The Humane Society wants Ty to drop about 15 pounds before they place him up for adoption. He does not look very happy when he's swimming. I mean, those ears to the side. Yeah. I mean, it's good in the long run.
Yeah.
Such good exercise, that swimming.
It sure is.
Yeah.
Ty doesn't know the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, it won't be long we'll be in our swimming pools.
Yes, it's been warm the last couple of days, but we are going to see some weekend changes. We still have another 80-degree day ahead tomorrow before we drop all the way back to the 60s. We will be tracking showers, even a rumble of thunder on Saturday with a chance for lingering showers for your Sunday. After that, temperatures on the rise again. We have 70s returning by your Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. In the Sierra tomorrow, slight chance for a high elevation shower. We will be tracking snow on Saturday. Snow levels start near 6,000 feet. They drop to 4,000 feet by the end of the day. Sunday, they'll start out a little bit lower.
All right, that'll do it for this edition of Eyewitness News at 7.
Stay with us. Eyewitness News at 7:30 is next.
Attention homeowners, the winter has been hard on your AC system. Cold weather can damage your system and cause leaks that are dangerous and drive up your monthly energy bills. For a limited time, Monarch Home Services is offering AC tune-ups for only $69. Book your discounted AC tune-up now to make sure your system is safe and efficient as the spring weather starts getting hot. Hurry, this offer ends soon. Monarch Home Services. Keep home comfortable.
Massive savings are on this weekend, only at More Furniture. Choose from a wide variety, including our new spring lineup, and we'll provide free white glove delivery, special interest free financing until 2025, and we'll subtract your sales tax. And right now, we'll donate your gently used furniture free of charge. Make an impact in your local community and allow us to remove and donate your items with this limited time offer. Only at More Furniture.
Now is a great time to get an offer you'll love on the Accord Hybrid and CR-V Hybrid. Inventory is here, so bring on the fun. Bring on the weekend getaways. Bring on the memories. and get a great offer on a Honda. Named the 2023 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value Brand. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into your local Honda dealer today.
Kathleen and I had this expression, the power of a changed life.
You know, we'd had bad experiences, yes, as far as getting windows, but really just we love people, and we love to see people's lives transform and change for the better.
That's why we've literally given half of the company back to the employees. Those installers that come to your house, they want to live up to that, and they want to delight the customer, and it's a white glove treatment.
So I am 23 years later very energized about what we sell, you know, just excited to see the customer's house change and the energy that creates, because this is a woman's nest. It's her home.
And that's just what it goes back to the why we do it. I get joy. I can't wait to see the next customer. And keeping it simple, right? Because it's just that next installation that's in front of you. That's the most important one you do it.
For a limited time, we pay the tax and free expert installation. Call or visit AmericanVisionWindows.com.
Catch the vision, American Vision Windows.
Brian Dorman and Catherine Herr, award-winning investigative journalists, with Chief Meteorologist Lauren Wallace, the Emmy Award-winning CBS 47 Eye